Hey YouTube, this is just a short video of my ghost, 100% het albino, eating a mouse, and it's also a video to help someone out on how to make a Sunglow, because they are wanting to know how to make one. So anyone that's not interested how to make a Sunglow, you can just enjoy little Casper here on eating his little first ever mouse. He's only ever had rats since he was born, but I didn't have no spare rats at the moment to give him, so I've had to give him some little mouse fuzzies. So I'm not power feeding him, but I'm letting him off and letting him have 2 this time, because usually about every 3 months I let him have the odd extra 1, so I'll give him 2 instead of 1. But I basically never hardly ever do that, so no, I'm not a power feeder, in case you think I give him 2 every time. I don't. But yeah. Right, to make a Sunglow, basically what you need is a hypo, 100% het albino. So if you have one of them, go out and buy another one, so you have 2 of them. So you have 2 hypos, 100% het anery. If you breed them 2 together, you will get a Sunglow. So the other way to make one is to have a hypo 100% het albino and breed it to an albino. Then you will get Sunglows like that. And they're the 2 easiest ways how to make a Sunglow. Breed 2 hypos 100% het albino together, breed 2 of them together, or breed a hypo 100% het albino to an albino. And that's how to make a Sunglow. A Sunglow is basically, a Sunglow is just a normal albino, but it's got hypo in it as well. That's what makes it a Sunglow and makes the pattern very bright and reddy, orangey, pinks and stuff. But yeah, like when you know the difference between Sunglows and normals, you'll know straight away whether someone has a Sunglow or a normal albino. They are a lot different. But yeah, a Sunglow is a hypo and albino in one snake. That's what a Sunglow is. So yeah. So if you breed anything like any normal hypo to an albino, you will not get Sunglows, but all your hypos off that litter will be 100% het albino. Which obviously, if you bred one of them back to an albino or a hypo het albino, or even another snake het for albino, you can get a Sunglow. That's why when people have things like hypo motleys, if you have a hypo motley 100% het albino and you bred that to like an albino, you have chances of getting like motley Sunglows and stuff like that. That's how people start doing it, but that would just start getting a bit confusing to some people maybe. But yeah, the easiest way to just make a normal Sunglow is to have a hypo that's het for albino, breed that back to another hypo het albino, or to breed it back to an albino. You will not get albinos unless you breed 2 het albinos together, or you breed a het with an albino. It's the only way. Well, you come over here. But yeah, that's the only way you will get albinos. You have to breed 2 hets together, or you have to breed a het with an albino. So yeah, that's the only way. So it's pretty simple really. So yeah, I hope that answered your question. If you're still confused or anything like that, then let me know. I'll write it down really simple way, or I'll be more than happy to answer any more questions or go more into it and stuff. But that is the easiest and cheapest way to make a Sunglow, is to breed 2 hypos 100% het for albino together, or breed a hypo 100% het albino to an albino. Then you will get Sunglow babies. So yeah, if you have more information on anything, then let me know. Possibles are slightly different, like if you have a hypo, say 66% het albino, that's basically means it's a possible het albino, which means it's not proven until you breed it. To breed it and prove it, obviously you would have to breed it to an albino or het for albino, because that's the only way you would get albinos. So if you wanted to prove it, you'd have to do that. And if you say you bred it to an albino and you didn't get albino babies, then that 66% possible het for albino hypo is not 66% het at all. It's just nothing. It's just a normal hypo. But if you get albinos out of it, it's then turned into 100%. So that means that hypo is 100% het for albino then. So that's how you prove out possibles. So if you buy possibles, they're obviously cheaper than 100%. But they're more expensive than a normal, because there is a percentage they can prove out to be het for albino, but then they could also not. So with them you're taking like a gamble. It's pretty much like a 50-50. It rather proves out or it doesn't really. So it's whether you want to take the gamble on one of them. So if it proves out you can save some money, but then if it doesn't prove out you've pretty much lost a bit of money. It's just up to you really what you want to do. I tend to not really go for possibles, but depending on the snake I will go for them. It depends, because I can actually get a motley at the moment that's actually possible het snow, which means it's possible het for anery and it's possible het for albino, and they were selling it for an alright sort of price, and then they've sold a load of them and they've got one left, and he's basically just knocking that one off a lot cheaper now to get rid of it. So I was a bit tempted, but I don't know if I'm going to bother, because the possible sort of thing, I'm not really into possibles. I like to know that they're 100%. Like this ghost here, he is 100% het for albino. His mom is a hypo, triple het for Moonglow, and for anyone that don't know what that is, that's a hypo, that's 100% het for anery, and it's 100% het for albino. So that's 3 genes in one snake. So that makes it a triple het for Moonglow. A Moonglow, for anyone that don't know either, is an albino that is anery, hypo and albino in one snake. You have to see all visual signs for it to be a Moonglow. Because some people have snow boas that is an albino and anery in one snake. They're pure white albinos pretty much, and some people get confused and think they're Moonglows when they're not. For it to be a Moonglow, it has to show all 3 signs, all visual signs of being a hypo, anery and albino. So that's the difference between a snow and a Moonglow. And a ghost is an anery boa, and it's a hypo boa. That's what a ghost is. So anything you bred, say this is just a normal ghost now. If I bred this to say a normal boa, to keep it simple, I'd get normal boas, hypos, aneries, but all my normal boas and all my hypo boas will be 100% het for anery, because that's the way the anery gene works. If you breed an anery to any other boa, it will make it 100% het anery. So anything he's bred to will be 100% het anery. And because he's 100% het albino, basically he can have albino babies. So because he's got the anery and the albino, then that means he can have some snow boa babies, like snow boas. You know what they are, they're pure white and stuff. They're an albino morph basically. And because he has hypo in him, he can also make Moonglows, because the ingredients to make a Moonglow boa is a hypo, an anery and an albino. So that's basically why he's het Moonglow. Like it is a triple het basically, because it's 3 morphs in one snake. It's a hypo, an anery and it's an albino. That's 3 morphs in one snake, which making it triple het for Moonglow. So just say like when he has Sunglows, because he's hypo and he's het albino, he can have Sunglows. So all them Sunglows will be 100% het for anery, because he has the anery gene in him. So that means them Sunglows 100% het anery, that has albino in it, hypo in it, and it's het anery, so it has anery in it, which would make them Sunglows triple het for Moonglows. So that's why they'd be a lot more expensive and they can make a lot more morphs. It's just how it works really. Like the more genes your snake's technically carrying, the more morphs it can make, and you can make like cool stuff, and depending on what you're breeding, that's how you can make like new morphs, and obviously they're going to be a lot more expensive, and it's just the way it works really. Everything's different. Like you could get a ghost motley 100% het albino, because I've seen one of them, but they're quite expensive where I come from. But if you had one of them, you can end up making a motley Moonglow. So yeah, the only way I can make a motley Moonglow from this bloke is I would have to breed him to something like a motley that's het snow, or a hypo motley triple het for a Moonglow. Well, technically that have 4 genes in it, but it'd be het Moonglow either way. So I could still make something like that. The chances are a lot harder to make stuff like that, but the chance is still there for you to make something like that, so it can still be done. But yeah, I hope this video was helpful anyway, and it gives you some information. But if anyone has any questions at all, I don't mind being asked. I actually like being asked, so thanks for asking me the question about the Sunglow, I appreciate it. I hope it helps. If you need any more information at all, anybody, then please let me know. I'll be happy to answer anyone's questions about if you breed what bear with what the odds are and what you get and everything like that. I'll be happy to help everyone out. So thanks for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed. Please comment, rate and subscribe, I appreciate it if you haven't. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Cheers.